there's plenty of
Yeah.
negative things that can happen when a learning culture is not doing very well. Let's talk about the positive. Let's talk about how
Yeah.
we can turn it around, right?
Yeah.
So whatever position you're in L&D, there are things that you can do. Let's talk about some of the strategies that can remedy this.
Yeah.
Even with limited resources, you can still
Yeah.
get things done. You can turn things around. So let's talk about that. What are some
Yeah.
ideas about things that you can do?
Yeah. So this is the core of what we do as a business. But and this is you don't have to you can do this on no budget at all. And it's what I'm talking about is cohort learning experiences. So setting up and formalizing a way of conversation that that makes learning explicit. That's really what a cohort learning experience is. So most of you probably do this. Most of the people listening probably do some version of this. It's, you get people together. There's a speaker. Bring in a guest speaker from outside. Maybe it's someone from inside, and a topic gets discussed. So it gets people thinking about that topic, and then conversation happens around that. And what we do is build some structure around that because often that's sort of where it ends. Like people then have the event, and then it's like the conversation happens for a week or two, and it kind of peters out, and then nothing happens. But to start to like formalize that process, say like, okay, we're going to have four of these a year or six of these a year or whatever, these conversations. Create some kind of theme around it. Do some research. What are people actually struggling with? What topics and speakers should you bring in for that? Then so you create a bit of a calendar around it, but then crucially, you also want to create a community around it. So in other words, we're going to go through this together. We're going to go to these four sessions this year, and we're going to cover these topics. But then after the session and in the session as well, we're going to do breakout rooms. We're going to talk about what this means for us. We're going to share examples of when we did that and it worked, and when we tried that and it didn't work, and that's where all the magic happens. That's where all the learning happens, is in those conversations. And so we build these programs for our clients, and we'll bring in the speakers, and we'll craft the prompts and stuff. But all the learning happens in those conversations, and we do learning circles. So it's like an extra hour dedicated to just application, right? Like what else can we use that for? Or, when have we seen that work? And I could share so many examples of people coming out of those breakout rooms where they have, like really specific things. Like this one sticks in my mind of a client who was a group of delivery executives. So they like customer success team for a software company, and they like this guy walked out of a breakout room with this idea that someone else had done and worked that he used to then save his client $100,000.
Hmm.
And he told us that, and like that's like I could have never have told him that, right? Like he had to learn that from someone else in his breakout. And that's what a cohort learning experiences is. These people go through this together, they get to know each other, they build relationships with each other, and they share ideas with each other. What's working, what's not working, and that's it. Like that's really, and if you can start this yourself, you can set that up, you can have internal speakers, you don't have to spend much at all on doing something like this.
I love that. It reminds me of how, we at GoSkills, we're a completely remote company, but
Hmm.
we've made it an important point that we meet up. We try to meet up in person with each other like once a year, once every maybe 15 months or something. And we try to bring the whole team together. And
Hmm.
being together and being able to talk and understand each other and meet and just, but also hang out and have fun and do
Yeah.
activities. It's a wonderful way to build that camaraderie and understand each other and realize that just like many other virtual companies, the ability to not just put the face with the name, but also
Hmm.
understand that person personally,
Hmm.
it makes a huge difference. So this idea of bringing together cohorts to learn together, sounds awesome.